This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I'm your host, Matt Takimoto, and episode 264 will feature the Benchwarmer team of Matt Doherty and Eric Eade versus Benchwarmer Scott Grimes and longtime returning guest, Jake Freudenberg. Jake, it has been quite a bit since you've been here, but we're happy to have you back. Why don't you take a second to tell us about yourself and who you root for?
Sure, absolutely. Glad to be back. Like I said, it was like you said, it was a long hiatus, but glad to be back and off the pine, if you will, and into the starting lineup. So as for me, living here in Cincinnati, Ohio, work as an IT security analyst for a health company. As for sports teams wise, I am a diehard Cincinnati fan, for better or for worse. So Bengals and Reds, and FC Cincinnati recently on their run the last couple years here. College sports wise, I'm a big Xavier Musketeer basketball fan as my alma mater, and Notre Dame football fan. And that's about it. I mean, hockey wise, I've tried to dabble into it a little bit. I'm a Minnesota Wild guy, but even then, it hasn't been that prosperous the last few years. But nonetheless, like I said, glad to be here and ready to get things going.
Awesome. And Scott, how are you, and what is your team's name?
I'm good. Just really excited to have Jake back. A lot of things have changed since the last time Jake appeared on our podcast. Jake's last episode dropped December 16th of 2020. So, yeah, a long time ago, but before a lot of things happened. So in honor of that, we're just going to go with a team name that makes a lot of sense, and that's going to be 4-Year Absence.
All right, so we've got 4-Year Absence and Mr. Doherty. How are you?
I am alive. So, yeah. I got to, on television, I got to watch an amazing baseball game on Sunday, and we'll hand it over to Eric to tell us about as he watched it in person.
Who did what now?
You went to the baseball game on Sunday.
Oh, it's not baseball. It's banana ball. Banana ball. Well, first, before I even get to that, let me take a minute. Sometimes having a podcast pays off. Okay. And this is and I'm going to just start whatever. Anyway, so Throwback Trivia Takedown, everybody knows that wonderful podcast. There was a gentleman on there maybe a few weeks ago by the time this comes out who owns a bakery runs a bakery. I don't know the logistics of it. Anyway, that deals with Hungarian baked goods, and I am Hungarian, so anytime I hear something like that, I get very interested. So
wait, what?
Yeah.
You're Hungarian? No.
A little bit, slightly. And Canadian, so whatever. So I reached out to him and whatever, we just started chatting, and he's sending me like a Hungarian cake, and I'm just like, so I'm gonna shout out his bakery every chance I get. So even if you're not in Ohio, that's the state they're in. They ship everywhere apparently, so look up Dobos Delights, DOBO''S Delights. They will ship to anywhere, and I highly recommend them because Hungarian baked goods are amazing. So anyway, with that said, on to Banana Ball. So if anybody's ever heard of the Savannah Bananas, I'm sure everybody has. They sell out in seconds anytime they go any city. So I luckily got some tickets to the game on Sunday. I will never recommend going to a baseball game at 1:00 with no clouds in the sky, because I was demolished by the sun, and you can ask my wife. She's very pale and not anymore. So she got demolished by the sun, and it's kind of funny because I've never seen her tan, and now she is. So it's kind of weird. So I have a new wife for the next few weeks until the tan fades. It's fun, but yeah, the game was amazing. I suggest that the MLB take a page out of their book, because it was that's how baseball should be. It was a lot of fun. It was just 100% based on the crowd, and it was just the umpire dancing, and then they have a male cheerleading squad called the Dad Bod Cheerleading Squad. And my wife fell in love with this giant man who was very sweaty, and we got pictures taken with him. So it was a good time. But with that said, our team name today is in honor of my Sunday at the ballpark. Is My Banana Got Burned.
All right. So we've got 4-Year Absence versus My Banana Got Burned. We've got our teams. Dan, may we have some rules, please?
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
Thank you, Dan. That was very polite of him.
So just before we get started here, just so that Jake can go there, because it's not that far from him, this Dobos Delight is in Pequot, north of Dayton.
Pequot, okay, yeah. Yeah, about an hour 15, hour 20 for me, yeah.
You know what? You don't have to be right back, because again, they will ship. Use promo code BTP and you'll enjoy Hungarian delights at full price.
At full price.
All right. BTP, the only promo code that makes things more expensive.
You just put that in and they're like, I don't know why you put that in there.
All right. The first quarter will be David versus Goliath.
David versus Goliath. This quarter will consist of 3 pairs of questions, 1 easier, David, and 1 harder, Goliath. After hearing both questions, the teams will pick one of the 2 questions to answer, either David or Goliath. Each David question is worth 25 points, and each Goliath question is worth 50 points.
For this David and Goliath round, each question will be, each answer will be 2 athletes with a shared last name. So for this quarter only, I will need first names as well as the shared last name. Just FYI. Here we go. Question number 1, David. Floridian professional wrestler who defeated Andre the Giant to win the heavyweight championship at WrestleMania 3, and the Texan professional golfer with a career Grand Slam who won 6 of his 9 major championships following a car accident that left him with, among other injuries, a broken pelvis and ankle. Question 1, Goliath. The figurehead president of the World Wrestling Federation from 1984 to 1995, and the heavyweight champion boxer who defeated Jack Dempsey in the controversial long count fight in front of over 100,000 spectators at Soldier Field on September 22nd, 1925.
We'll check in.
All right. My Banana Got Burned has checked in. For your absence, you can talk it out.
Yeah, so I mean, I was gonna say I think we got the first one there. Like you and I both talked it out here, Scott, and
Yeah.
I think we're pretty confident with that first one. Second one, I was just telling you, I know very little about WWF, WWE, whatever you want to call it, and boxing itself. I know Jack Dempsey exists.
Yep.
Couldn't tell you who he went against.
Yeah, same. Especially in 1920s, right? Like,
Yeah, 25, absolutely not,
yeah, David was there in attendance, but that doesn't help. I think the figurehead president of WWF at that time is Jack Tunney. That's just like a name that used to be the president. Can you think of a boxer last name Tunney?
No, the only thing that keeps coming into my mind is the actress Robin Tunney.
I was just going to say maybe Robin Tunney from Prison Break. And they had an episode actually where they went up to a cabin in New Glarus just to tie things all together.
Oh, hey, how about it? Probably had some spotted cow too while we're at it.
Yeah, probably not Robin Tunney. Yeah, fighting Jack Dempsey.
Be a hell of a story though.
Do you just want to go David because we think that's Hulk and Ben Hogan, right?
Yeah, I agree.
All right, we're gonna check in with the David answer of Hulk and Ben Hogan.
And My Banana Got Burned. What did you check in with?
So we're like 10 minutes into this. I'm already going to shout out somebody else. So a good friend of mine, Mike Corey, who owns a wonderful restaurant in the Buffalo area called Feature. So if you're ever here, check it out, Feature Eatery. They're catering my stepson's graduation party. But yeah, anyway, we were at the AEW wrestling, and we were just talking about all old nonsense wrestling. Remember, who was that guy that used to be like the president, but wasn't really the president? He was just the guy on TV playing the president. I'm like, Jack Tunney? He's like, yeah, that's it. So we just started to talk about all episodes. So Jack Tunney literally came up like a week or two ago. And then Matt and I were trying to think of a name for, I messaged him Gene, and he sent me Gene almost at the same exact time. So we went with Jack and Gene Tunney.
Okay. And Both teams will be getting points. Yes, the David answer is Hulk and Ben Hogan, and the Goliath was Jack and Gene Tunney. Very well done by both teams. Okay, moving on to question 2. David, speaking of boxing, heavyweight champion boxer who finished his professional career with a 32-4-1 record, with the only losses coming to Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, and the NBA Hall of Fame guard who is currently a color commentator for the New York Knicks and a spokesperson for Just for Men hair dye. Question 2, Goliath, British professional boxer who finished with a 45-3 career record, with 2 of the 3 losses coming to Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, and British professional golfer with only 1 PGA Tour win, but a top 10 finish at all 4 majors and the Players in his career, and was a member of the last 3 European Ryder Cup teams.
Taco, we're going to check in.
Okay, 4-year absence has checked in. My banana got burned. It's yours to talk out.
All right, so you came up with the David pretty quick for Walt and Frazier. Joe Frazier. Oh my gosh. Brain block for a second there. I was trying to think of the second part, the British boxer. I'm not great with more modern boxers in the last like 15 years or 20 years or so.
Yeah.
That would have been about this time frame. But I did remember there was somebody named, I think it's Hatton or
Okay.
Otten. I don't even know that person's first name though. Just a name that I pulled. I have no idea what their first name is.
What's a British first name? Chip? Chippy?
Yeah, Chip.
Chippy Hatton. I think there's a Tyrell Hatton golfer, but we don't have a first name for the boxer.
And if I had a few minutes, I'd probably come up with it. But
let's hold on. Let's just think of the most British first name ever.
You've got about 1 minute left.
We got 1 minute to name every British first name.
British first name ever.
Go.
So how many British actors do you know? Hugh?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm out.
Yeah, there you go.
Who's the other guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy from The Walking Dead? What's his name?
Nick? Well, Rick is in The Walking Dead.
No,
Ricky.
the Ricky.
His name is Ricky. Ricky Houghton.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Positive.
I am. Yes, I am. Yes.
Whatever. If you want to go with it, it's not. It can't be.
No, I know that's the name. Do you know that this is it Tyrell or Terrell?
You know, however
you wrote down both.
Tyrell. So. Well, the autocorrect, it's spelled funky. It's like Tyrrell. Tyrell. Thank you, DraftKings. If you want to go with it, go with it. If not, we can go with our safe.
As soon as I got to Ricky, I'm paused. I'm like,
right.
Yeah.
All right. We're going with Ricky Hatton and whatever. Whatever. There's a golfer. Why not?
Sure.
So Ricky and Tyrell Hatton.
And 4-year absence, what did you check in with?
That might be the most ridiculous way someone's ever gotten to an answer in this podcast. Walking Dead, really? Andrew Lincoln? That's
guy.
That's how you got there? That's how you got there? Really? Rick Grimes, my brother, got you to an answer? Wow. Yeah, we had no idea of the first names of the golfer / boxer. Even if we would have gotten there, we wouldn't have been confident enough. So we once again checked in with the David answers of guys who I used to think were the same when I would read about them in books growing up. Walt and Joe Frazier.
Okay. Well, the David answer is indeed Joe and Walt Frazier. So 4-year absence getting points. And the Goliath answer is Ricky and Tyrrell Hatton.
How about that?
So both teams are getting their points there. That was a pretty ridiculous moment that just happened there. All right. Before Scott gets more upset, let's move on to question 3.
Oh wait, there has been a more ridiculous way is when we needed a first name for somebody and I just that sounds like he was born around the same time as my father and we went with John.
Oh, John Brody?
Yeah. So There's been stupider.
All right. Question 3, David. The most decorated Olympic medalist of all time and the Notre Dame men's basketball coach from 1971 to 1991 who left South Bend for a broadcasting career, notably as a college game day analyst from 2005 to 2014. Question 3, Goliath. The Golden Boot winner at the 2014 World Cup and the 2008 MLB saves leader and Rolaids reliever of the year winner, who ranks 6th on the career saves list.
We're going to check in.
My Banana Got Burned has checked in for your absence. Talk it out.
Jake, who's closing for the Reds in 2008?
So that was Francisco Cordero, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I thought. Yeah, but I don't know that the Golden Boot winner was Cordero.
Right, and I'm trying to think, like, because I just said it to you in the chat that 14 year was when Germany beat up on Brazil at the end there, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And I know Thomas Muller was big, but I can't think of a closer with Muller. That would have been big in the late 2000s.
No, I can't think of one either.
I mean, I pulled up the David pretty quick. I mean, if you want to go with that, we can.
Yeah, it's always better to get points than to not get points.
I agree.
So go ahead and check that in.
Matt, we said we're going to go with David, and we went with Michael and Digger Phelps.
Okay. And My Banana Got Burned. What did you come up with?
So the 2014 World Cup, you guys, if you don't know, there was a darling everybody fell in love with. It was kind of like his like big like premiere to the world was James Rodriguez. He scored 6 goals that World Cup, and I think Mueller was maybe one short. And then that took me right to K-Rod, so we went with James Rodriguez and Francisco Rodriguez.
Okay, well, the David answer is indeed Michael and Digger Phelps, and the Goliath answer is James and Francisco Rodriguez. So both teams getting their points yet again. Yeah, James Rodriguez scored 6 goals, and despite Colombia being eliminated in the quarterfinals, he still won the Golden Boot that year, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. And 2008 was the year that K-Rod set the single season saves record with 62. Okay, after the first quarter, all 6 of those questions got answered, which is kind of fun. For Your Absence has 75 points, getting all 3 Davids correct, and My Banana Got Burned has 150, getting all 3 Goliaths correct.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
We now move to the second quarter, which will be The Missing Link.
The Missing Link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
I love how Taco decided to use quarter styles that were around when Jake last played, so we don't have to explain anything new. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't have to go over what the hell curriculum vitae means. Question number 1 in The Missing Link. In 1994, his senior year at Western High School in Anaheim, he was voted most likely to succeed. You got it yet? No? Okay, I got more. This turned out to be very true, as that August, he won his first U.S. Amateur Championship at TPC Sawgrass.
All right, we'll check in.
My Banana Got Burned has checked in for your absence. Talk it out.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, I don't see it being anybody other than Tiger. I mean, it adds up right around that time. I mean,
Yeah.
He was dominant. The only thing that's thrown me off a little bit is that Anaheim bit, because he was more San Diego, I thought, or closer to San Diego. But, I mean, Orange County is definitely closer than L.A.
Yeah, he could have easily just randomly gone to high school in Anaheim for whatever reason. But, yeah, the time frame fits. Let's just do it.
Yep. So, Matt, we're gonna lock in with Tiger Woods.
And my banana got burned. What did you have?
Ours was more just a educational guess. Not really sure. I don't know where he went. And as far as I know, California is just like all the cities are right next to each other.
Fresno, LA, San Francisco, it's all the same thing, right?
Yeah, like doesn't you just take a trolley to all of them, like all in one day?
That's what
Anyway,
the Dodgers
so
are about. They're
Yep.
dodging trolleys from Santa Clara down to
Right.
San Diego.
Yep.
so we went with Tiger Woods as well.
Both teams getting points. Yeah, the answer is Tiger Woods. And yes, California, it looks big on the map, but in fact, everything's within 20 minutes of each other.
Yeah,
little
Taco and I are
little known
Taco and I are
fact.
neighbors, actually.
Yeah, I can throw a rock and hit Scott's house.
That's
All right.
actually why my audio's been going in.
Yes, I've been messing with his internet
Wires.
from my living room. All right, theme link answer so far, Tiger Woods. Question 2 in the missing link. The NBA's most improved player in 2021. His 24 double-doubles in 2014 were the most in a single season by a Kentucky freshman, breaking a record shared by Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, we're locked in.
All right, for your absence has checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out.
I remembered somebody talking about a Kentucky player winning 2 Naismiths and then going to being drafted but not doing great, and then going to the G League and dominating, and then coming back but you're telling me that's not the person. So.
No. If it's a freshman, chances are it was a freshman because Kentucky was what, one and done. Pretty much everybody there was one and done. So if you're looking 2014 single season, 24 double doubles, that it sounds like it could be Julius Randle.
Okay, so I'm totally off. 2014, I missed that part. So okay,
Yeah,
what do you think it is?
Julius Randle. He was what, like 7th overall in 2014 out of Kentucky, so freshman. So it's that's what it sounds like to me. So
Okay,
I say we go Julius Randle.
And for your absence, what'd you have?
We kind of leaned into the theme end of things a little bit more, and we went with a gentleman by the nickname of Cat with Karl Anthony Towns for ours.
Okay, one team is getting points. The correct answer is Julius Randle. All right, theme link answers so far are Tiger Woods and Julius Randle. All right, question 3 in the missing link. This WNBA franchise was the most recent franchise to dissolve rather than relocate, doing so in 2009. At the inaugural WNBA All-Star Game in 1999, they had 3 representatives, Yolanda Griffith, Ruthie Bolton, and Tisha Penichero.
All right, Matt or Taco, we're going to check in.
Okay. My banana got burned is checked in for your absence. Talk it out.
Yes, so Scott, I don't know much about the WNBA, but for some reason, the only thing that's locking into me is that the Houston Comets were a WNBA team. And if I'm not mistaken, they did not relocate or anything like that. They just folded.
Yeah, and it's the last team that did that, right? So because obviously there were other teams like the Cleveland Rockers, the Utah Stars, what was the team in Orlando? I think the Miracle. They certainly had some that disbanded, but yeah, I think the last one to do it was the Comets, which is again just still the craziest thing ever. You win the first 4 championships of your league, and within a decade, you're not even in the league anymore. Like that's
Right.
unheard of. But yeah, I'm good with that.
So, Taco, we're going to lock in with the Houston Comets.
Okay. And my banana got burned. What did you say?
Well, Matt, before you can give the answer, before that, the one thing I know is because when they just dissolved, I was devastated because it was the team of my favorite WNBA player of all, Cheryl Scoops. Cheryl Scoops played for the Comets. So when they disbanded, it was in 2008. That's the only reason we got to our answer. So, Matt, go ahead.
Of course.
I'm not sure exactly what the time frame is, but I thought Houston dissolved before the Sacramento Monarchs dissolved. So we checked in with Sacramento Monarchs.
One team is getting points. Yeah, Eric was right on there. The Houston Comets dissolved in 2008. The Sacramento Monarchs dissolved a year later in 2009. So the correct answer is the Sacramento Monarchs.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Themed link answers so far. Tiger Woods Julius Randle, and the Sacramento Monarchs. Hold on, I'm going to borrow a line from Josh Bohmbach. I have to move a cat. All right. Question 4 in the missing link. This reliever pitched for 8 teams in a 10-year career, racking up 98 career saves, but is perhaps most well known as the other half of the lopsided 1997 trade that brought Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek to Boston.
We can check in.
All right. 4-year absence has checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out.
There was that era that's like when the Twins were really bad in the late 90s, so I wasn't paying attention to much baseball then.
Is that Heathcliff Slocum?
Sure.
When I think of him, I think of the Mariners. So
But none of that rings any bells for me, so
I go against my gut a lot. This time I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna. He popped in my head. We're gonna go with Heathcliff Slocum.
And 4-year absence. What did you check in with?
When I think of him, I think of the Mariners, he says. Why do you think of him at all? Yeah, it's absolutely Heathcliff Slocum. It's one of the dumbest trades ever. Yeah. Mariners legend, Heathcliff Slocum.
Both teams getting points. It is Heathcliff Slocum. Slocum had 87 saves in 4 years, well, in 2.5 years, really, with Philly and with Boston, and then turned right around with Seattle and had 13 saves in a year and a half. So not really great return on investment considering Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek were a part of that 04 championship team for the Red Sox. So our themed link answers: Tiger Woods, Julius Randle, Sacramento Monarchs, and Heathcliff Slocum. Question 5 in the missing link. He was the first NFL player to rush for over 10,000 yards in a calendar decade, rushing for 10,539 yards from 1970 to 1979.
We'll go ahead and check in.
All right. 4-year absence has checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out.
10,000 yards in the 70s.
yeah.
Has to be OJ.
I mean, other
Does it go with our theme?
Yeah, so like if you thought about other running backs around that time, Marcus Allen came in too late to the 70s, right? Tony Dorsett, same thing. Jim Brown obviously retired by like 68, right? Or whenever it was.
Yeah, you're looking at players like Franco Harris, Larry Zonka, like Peyton, but not enough.
Yeah.
Riggins maybe, but no, 10,000
Yeah,
yards.
I mean, like the year
2,000
before,
yards. He had a 2,000-yard season. I mean, that gets him probably ahead of most people.
the year before, John Brockington for the Packers had 1,900 yards, but he didn't do much of anything for the rest of the decade that I know of.
Yeah, like OJ goes from what? Like his first season was
72.
Okay.
And then he started with the 49ers in 79 or 80.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
I think he covered most of the
decade.
So I say we go with, and I think that works with the team, to be honest. So
would it be OJ or would it be Orenthal James?
I don't think it doesn't matter. So
Okay.
we're gonna go with OJ Simpson.
Okay. And 4-year absence. What did you come up with?
Yeah, we were talking about the same thing. I thought that OJ was drafted in like 68 or 69.
Nice.
Because I remember that he tore up Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Well, I don't remember. I just remember seeing a video of it. You know, he was dominant for the Bills. We mentioned before he had a 2,000-yard season, and then ended his career backwards, started in San Francisco. Our team's guess is indeed Orenthal, James Simpson, or OJ, if you want to get with it there. So,
and both teams getting their points. Correct answer is OJ Simpson. Yeah, and some bonus trivia for you that has nothing to do with the theme. 10,000 yards in a calendar decade has been accomplished 7 times since. Once in the 1980s. Anyone have a quick guess on it? We're not going to spend any think time on it, but
Dorsett.
Once in the 1980s, not Dorsett.
Marcus Allen.
Dickerson.
Peyton.
It is Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson.
Twice in the 1990s.
I'm assuming
Emmett Smith
and
Barry Sanders.
Emmett Smith and Barry Sanders. Yep. 3 times in the 2000s.
AP.
Oh, God.
No, he would have been too
Not
late for
AP.
that.
No, who's on there? No, he wouldn't have got there.
Edge. Falk.
Edge.
Edge
Edge is one.
yeah,
LT
sure.
is one.
Tomlinson. Yep. Is it Thomas Jones?
It is not Thomas Jones.
Oh, that
Good
was a good
guess,
answer,
though. I
though.
like that
one.
guess.
Right?
Give me a team.
Oh, is it Corey Dillon?
A team would give it away.
Oh,
I'll give you AFC.
Jeez.
Adrian James.
Yeah,
Right.
Edgerrin
Yeah,
James
he's
is there,
already said
but
that, yeah.
I think he'd said it already.
Yeah, I
Jamal
said
Charles
that.
didn't get to
Yeah, Jamal Charles is
Didn't
the
get to
name.
that
Oh,
threshold.
jeez.
AFC North.
CJ2K didn't get there. Oh, North.
Bettis?
Oh, North.
Not
No.
no, not
Jamal
Bettis.
Lewis, right?
Jamal
Oh,
Lewis.
yes.
Is it?
10,000
Mhm.
yards. Yeah, Jamal Lewis.
Two
And then
teams in
once
there, as you know.
once in the 2010s,
That has to be AP.
it is
Yeah.
not AP.
No.
Ooh.
He was
No.
too busy beating up on his kids, guys.
Yeah,
Come
but
on.
then he ran
Frank
for a
Gore?
lot.
Yeah.
Not Frank Gore. Good
Frank
guess.
Gore?
He took a couple of hours off every week to
Who
run
got-
the
who's
rest
that
of
team?
football.
Is it
Not,
Shady
not
McCoy?
McCoy.
It is Shady McCoy.
Is it
Oh,
really?
wow. Look at
Yes.
that.
Oh,
Only one to go over 10,000 in the 2010s. And really the only one with a shot in the 2020s might be Derrick Henry.
Jameer Gibbs.
With an outside chance of if Jonathan Taylor can stay healthy. But yep, that's the bonus. Back to the theme. So our theme link answers are Tiger Woods, Julius Randle, Sacramento Monarchs, Heathcliff Slocum, and OJ Simpson. One team has submitted a correct theme guess. The other team is My Banana Got Burned. My Banana Got Burned, you can have a little bit of time to try and suss it out here quickly.
Are we not close?
It is not cats.
What?
Although I did have to look up, there is technically a Julius the cat that seems to be just a cheap ripoff of Felix the cat. I can't find anything named. I can't find any sort of cat named Sacramento or Monarch though. So that's where you're
Oh.
the
That's
old
where you're-
Sacramento cat.
I
right.
could have swore there was a cat named Monarch. Swear to God, that's why. Anyway. All right, so I crap, Matt. I'm not good at these. You
Heathcliff-
know that.
Yeah, me neither.
Slocum. That's porn names. I don't know.
I mean, Heathcliff, I mean, the Huxtables, from
Sacramento
Cosby Show.
Oh, jeez. Monarchs.
Monarchs.
Butterflies. Is there an OJ butterfly? The last one's supposed to give it away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it did.
Everyone. David Lux had pointed out earlier this week. My record in games with missing links is not good because I'm not good at these. So yeah. Yeah, I got nothing.
We don't have anything.
Yeah, tapping it out.
All right. My Banana Got Burned is tapping on the theme for your absence. Why don't you talk us through your correct theme?
I don't want to say this was a shot in the dark, but we were like, my thought process was, we're losing. We need to just go for it here. Whatever matches after the first two, I'm sending. And just so happened that it was correct. That's actually why I left the Zoom, because I was trying to type it to Taco and my keyboard stopped working. And I was getting frustrated because I was like, I want to send this before they do. We just went off of Tiger and Julius, and I typed to Jake things that are orange or can be orange, a tiger and an orange Julius. And he said, yeah, we agreed on that. So I sent it over to Taco. So we checked in with things that are or can be orange. It's also my favorite color, so it made sense.
Well, tigers are orange. Orange Julius is orange. Monarch butterflies are orange. Heathcliff the cat is orange. And then OJ the juice is orange. So the theme is things that are orange.
I mean, technically, orange juice is yellow, but that's fine.
Technically,
Oh,
That's not where you get it.
if we're picking this apart, then you should have definitely used Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
Okay.
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Garfield. All right. After the second quarter, the lead has gotten much slimmer. My Banana Got Burned has 250 and For Your Absence has 235. It's now time for halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
And this halftime is going to be yet another episode of the Lavid Ducks Memorial Episcopalian Overlaps. If you haven't been with us before, what you're going to get is 2 pop culture questions. And the last part of the first answer and the first part of the second answer will squish together to make something sports related. So I'll give you an example. If I were to say he played Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad and his Batman suit had nipples on it, those answers would be Aaron Paul George Clooney with Paul George in the middle. So not a pre and post game, but as Josh Bohmbach calls it, a squish.
There's far too much Josh Bohmbach in this episode already.
Too much Bohmbach.
There you go.
Hashtag
Episode
too
title.
much Bohmbach.
Episode titled Too Much Bohmbach.
He'll be so confused when it's the title is Too Much Bohmbach for an episode he's not on. All right. Question 1 of halftime. He's the LA rapper currently embroiled in a beef with Drake. And it's the full ring name of the pro wrestler known as The Game.
We're good, Jake. We can check in.
All right. 4 year absence has checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out.
So Kendrick Lamar.
It's Kendrick Lamar, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
And 4 year absence. What did you have?
Same exact thing. Kendrick Lamar, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Both teams getting points. Correct answer is Kendrick Lamar, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Question 2 of halftime. He was the inspiration for the character of George Costanza on Seinfeld before becoming the lead character of his own sitcom. And it's a 1719 adventure novel written by Daniel Defoe, where the title character spends 28 years on a desert island.
We're going to check in.
All right. My banana got burned has checked in. 4 year absence. Talk it out.
Okay, Jake. There aren't many things that I know less about than Seinfeld and old literature.
Well, I got the I was like, I got the Seinfeld bit. The old literature part is what I do not have. It's Larry David is the basis of George Costanza. As for 18th century, early 18th century novels, I'm a little lacking in that department.
And it's the name of the novel. So I can't think of a novel that's like David. You know, would be a good one is Larry Dave Video Killed the Radio Star or like something like that. But I don't think the vid goes into a 1719 adventure novel. Is that like Robinson? Is that like Robinson Crusoe? Isn't that like a? Oh, I'm gonna sound so dumb. Listen, I'm in the 200 club on Throwback Trivia Takedown, so you can at me if you think I sound dumb right now.
I'm grasping at straws here. I got nothing here, shot.
I don't know how Larry David would work with anything that's in my head anyway. So David Id. That's all I've got. Larry David Id.
Is that what you're checking in with?
Yes, the novel's called Id. It's ID, but it's just
Hey, it's a good Sigmund Freud bit. I like it.
And my banana got burned. What's your answer?
Scott, you said the answer.
Yeah, you did too.
Robinson.
You kept on with the David.
What goes with
now
David?
Like he's
Robinson?
gonna connect David and Robinson, and he's
David Robinson.
I got so thrown off by the fact that it was literature.
Larry
David
David
as
Robinson
soon as you
Crusoe.
went from the David to the vid, I'm like, oh, he's gonna lose it. No,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
then he
I didn't
lost
lose it. I never had it.
No.
So yeah, we went with Larry David Robinson Crusoe.
And the correct answer is Larry David Robinson Crusoe with David Robinson in the middle. The final question of halftime. She's the comedian who portrayed characters Mary Catherine Gallagher and Sally O'Malley on Saturday Night Live. And it's the electronic gadget brand, which at its peak had 187 retail stores nationwide. It filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2008, but the brand has since been revived.
Let's check that in.
Okay, my banana got burned has checked in. 4 year absence. And I need an answer quickly.
Yep. We don't need to talk it out. We're just trying to do some gamesmanship. So we think we might have it. So we checked in with Molly Shannon Sharper Image.
Okay, and my banana got burned. What did you check in with?
So first was Radio Shack. That didn't work with Molly Shannon. Then we went to Circuit City. Also didn't seem to work with Molly Shannon. So in my head, I was thinking of other like out of business electronic places. And then there was like Tweeter, Crazy Eddie's, The Wiz. And then just right at the end there it came in my head, Sharper Image. So we went with Molly Shannon, Sharper Image.
Both teams getting their points. It is Molly Shannon, Sharper Image. Very nicely done. All right. After halftime, we have the following scores. My banana got burned has 325 and 4 year absence has 285. And that brings us to the third quarter, which will be Flop, Turn, and River.
Flop, Turn, and River. For this quarter, there will be 3 questions consisting of 5 clues. The first 3 clues will be given before the teams decide if they want to check in with their guests. The last 2 clues will be given one at a time, with teams deciding if they want to check in with their guests after each subsequent clue. If a correct answer is checked in after the first 3 clues, the team will receive 50 points. After the 4th clue, 30, and after the 5th clue, 20.
All right, question 1, the flop. The second quarterback in FBS history to win 4 bowl games in his career. Pat White was the first. He ranks 5th all-time in passing yards at his alma mater, an ACC school, and has the highest completion percentage among quarterbacks with more than 10 starts for his school. His last NFL passes thrown were for the 2017 Oakland Raiders.
Do it if you want. Go for it.
All right, we'll check in.
Okay, my banana got burned has checked in for your absence. You can talk it out and either check in or take another clue.
Right off the bat, ACC, I think Clemson. That's just where my mind went. And I went right to Charlie Whitehurst because he played at Clemson for like 8 years, it seemed like. And, I mean, he hung around in the NFL for a while, and the Raiders are a revolving door at quarterback, so like they easily could have had a guy like that. But I don't think the time frame works because I think Charlie Whitehurst played right around the same time, if not before Pat White. So I don't know that he could have been the second to do it after Pat White.
Yeah, and that was my thought process too. Is that Troy Whitehurst, I'm pretty sure, did throw passes for the Oakland Raiders at some point. First of all, I don't know if 2017 is even in that realm.
I don't remember with him.
You know, like I said to you that maybe like Taj Boyd could be a move. I don't know really what he did. I just remember that he beat Ohio State my freshman year of college because I was watching it at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Sponsor us, please.
Nice.
We watched the game there, and he was absolutely miserable watching it. And it kind of made me happy, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just don't know that he won 4 bowl games at Clemson. I don't know if he played in 4 bowl games at Clemson. He was hurt sometimes. He wasn't. I don't know if he was a starter all 4 years, and I don't even know if he ended up ever throwing a pass in the NFL. To be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean that would, because I'm pretty sure that would have been his senior year that they won the bowl game. Because I mean that was when DeAndre Hopkins was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was right after Deshaun Watson.
Before
took over.
Deshaun. Yeah, before Deshaun.
Oh yeah, you're right. Before.
Yeah.
I don't love it. Right, we threw out some other schools too, Florida State, right, Miami, but I just can't think of like 4-year guys there.
I was gonna say like the only guy I can think of for Florida State is obviously Jameis Winston, and he's still playing, so it's not going to be him.
I think the caveat is also threw passes for the Raiders in 2017. Like, I know they have a ton of quarterbacks, but they conceivably only had we're got to choose between like probably 3 or 4 guys, right? This is after Terrell Pryor. Is this Matt McGloin? Do you know where he went to school?
That's a good pull.
I mean, he was definitely their quarterback.
I want to say he was like an SEC guy, but I honestly don't. I can't think of anything with him. No.
Not like a BC guy.
I don't think so. Like I'm trying to think of notables in that time frame, like in 2010s.
Well, because 2017 is that the year that David Carr got hurt, right? That would be why this guy's throwing passes, I would imagine.
I think it would have been before. That have been before Derek Carr. No,
no, because he was in the league already, so I think he would have gotten hurt, and it was like McGloin and oh my god.
We are just about at time, so we need an answer or take another clue.
Yeah, all of this nonsense for us to most likely take another clue, right?
Yeah.
As Matt would say, all of this talking. Yeah, and now we're going to take another clue.
Okay, so 4-year absence is taking the turn, so this one is just for 4-year absence. Here's your turn. He ranks 3rd in his draft class in career NFL passing yards behind Geno Smith and Mike Glennon.
Oh, wow. Okay. So a guy that has less passing yards than Mike Glennon. All right. Well, That's what year is that?
It
Smith.
would have been like
That
13 or
yeah,
14,
it's
somewhere in
yeah.
there.
Well, it's not going to be 14 because that's Jameis and Mariota. So obviously Jameis would have more passing yards.
I
So it's
think it might have been
probably
15. I think it might have been 15. Now that you say that, I think
I
it was 15.
I don't know if it
Um,
helps though because that quarterback
yeah,
class
right.
was so bad. I don't even remember. Oh wait. No, it can't be. What about EJ Manuel?
He was a Florida State guy.
He's a Florida State guy. He could have maybe started all 4 years, and he's a guy that could have easily thrown a pass for the Raiders in 2017.
That's a good call. Yeah, I mean, it's better than my thought. My thought it was initially Jordan Lynch, and I kept saying like, he's a MAC guy. He's not an ACC guy.
Here, I'm gonna give you another name too. I have another one too. Christian Ponder,
Was
Florida
he
State
Florida
guy.
State? Yeah.
Florida State guy could also have easily thrown a pass for the Raiders in 20. This is awful. All these
Wow.
guys fit. They all
Just goes to
if you
show.
just say name a quarterback that could have conceivably thrown a pass for the Raiders in 2017, it's like 65 different guys. They could have thrown a pass for them.
I mean, it could be a fun game. Was this guy a Browns quarterback or a Raiders quarterback or both?
Or both. Okay. Real quick in that game, Charlie Fry, Browns, Raiders, or both?
Both.
Yeah, see, right. That is a fun game. Thanks, Jake. New Patreon idea.
I was going to say Patreon bonus coming.
Man, I kind of like Ponder. But you want to take the last clue to solidify it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right.
All right. 4-year absence is taking the river. Here's your river. He was drafted in the first round of the 2013 draft by the Bills out of Florida State.
All right. CJ Manuel.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. We're going to check in EJ Manuel.
All right. And my banana got burned. What did you check in with after the flop?
Yeah, first quarterback taken in that hot garbage of a quarterback class. Ryan Nassib, all those fun names. But yeah, it's EJ Manuel.
Both teams getting their points. It is EJ Manuel. And shockingly, the only players for the 2017 Raiders that threw passes were Derek Carr and EJ Manuel.
That's how I got there.
Who knew?
Matt Doherty, do you know who EJ Manuel is?
Do I know who he is? Yes. Did I know
Okay,
that there
I
was the
didn't
answer
know
to
that
this
was a guy.
question? No.
Well, I figured that, but
On the list of career passing yards for the 2013 draft, after Geno Smith, Mike Glennon, and EJ Manuel, it goes to Matt Barkley, Landry Jones, Ryan Nassib, and then Keenan Allen is seventh, who is famously not a quarterback.
I got to be honest. I would have thought that Matt Barkley had more career passing yards than EJ Manuel.
Yeah.
Like if you were asking me.
All right. So that leads us to question 2 of Flop, Turn, and River. And I will say this, just as an extra caveat. The answers in this round have kind of a loose theme that is worth no points, but they're loosely connected in some way that you will see. All right. Question 2, the flop. His career high in points per game for a season was 14.7 for the 1993-94 Phoenix Suns. In December 96, he was traded from the Suns along with Sam Cassell and Michael Finley to the Mavericks for Jason Kidd, Tony Dumas, and Lauren Mayer. He ranks 8th all-time on the career scoring list at Oregon State.
I got your loose theme, Takamoto. Matt Barkley and now Charles Barkley was on that Suns team.
Yep.
Got it.
All played with guys named Barkley at some point.
Yeah. Or have something to do loosely with a guy named Barkley.
With a guy named Barkley.
All right. We're gonna check in.
4-year absence is checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out or take another clue.
Yeah. This is something that I don't, you guys seem to have like an encyclopedic memory of these drafts, of these trades that happen.
It's not the trade. It's the I'm looking at the 93, 94, 93, 94 Suns, and I'm thinking of the players I know from that team.
Yeah.
AC Green is one of them. It's
Okay.
Danny Ainge, Barkley, Sabalos, Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Oliver Miller. There's other
Good
guys.
team.
And then he went to You think he went to Dallas after that, or he got traded to Dallas?
I can see him in a Mavs jersey. I know I have an NBA hoops card with his face in a Mavs jersey for some reason.
That's cool. Do it then.
So yeah, so we're gonna check in with AC Green.
Okay. And for your absence, what did you check in with?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows by now, like I'm obsessed with trades, particularly Major League Baseball and NFL. So I mean, I've seen this trade like 100 times. I'm pretty familiar with all of Jason Kidd's trades, and there are many of them. So I just had to remember. I knew it was. I was like going through my head. I'm like, it's a big guy. I couldn't remember who it was, and then I did the same thing as Eid, and I just went back to the Barkley Suns teams, and I remember that this guy was on those teams, and that he definitely played for Dallas, actually for a while. So we also checked in with AC Green.
All right. So just for posterity, here's the turn in the river. The turn, he had a streak of 1,192 consecutive games played from 1986 to 2001. And the river, one All-Star appearance, one second-team All-Defense, no sex had until his marriage in 2002. Correct answer is AC Green.
I knew that would be included at some point.
Mhm.
Has to be.
Has to be. It's like I feel like it's the one thing people know about AC Green even before his on-court accomplishments. All right. The final question of Flop, Turn, and River. Here's the flop. He's the only player to ever be a part of multiple back-to-back-to-back-to-back home run streaks. He made his Major League Baseball debut in the game in which Mark McGwire broke Roger Maris's single-season home run record. He made his only All-Star game in 2008, but hit a home run and stole a base and was named All-Star MVP.
Yeah, I'll be nice this time, and we'll actually check in so these guys can talk it out. So yeah, we're gonna check in.
For your absence has checked in on the flop, so my banana got burned. Talk it out, and you can check in and answer or take the turn.
Okay,
Who
so
would've played for the- who would have
2008
played for the Cardinals in '98?
and those guys checked in, right? So we can.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we're doing.
So if the loose theme that Taco was talking about, we got EJ and AC. So maybe is it somebody who's using initials as their first name?
So bring to that time frame. Cardinals. I know him better for the Red Sox, and that probably would have been when he was in the. That's 10 years later.
Who's that?
JD Drew
That's who you think it is?
came up with the Cardinals. Came up with the Cardinals All-Star as a Red Sox.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
It fits. It fits. I don't know if he won the MVP of the All-Star game.
But yeah, but
It
it,
would-
I
it
mean,
would
it
make
obviously
sense.
doesn't say that Cardinals in 2008. He just says Cardinals with McGuire in 90,
98.
98.
So
So JD
and it
Drew.
works with the initials. So yeah, let's go with JD Drew.
And for your absence, what did you check in with?
Didn't say that it had to be a Cardinals player. It just in the game, so the team that they were playing
True.
could have been on that team. But he did just happen to be on the Cardinals. We also checked in with JD Drew.
All right. So both teams have checked in with JD Drew on the flop. Here's the turn in the river. The turn. This outfielder finished sixth in the MVP voting in 2004 with Atlanta, his only season as a member of the Braves. The river. He played for 4 MLB teams in his career, but the Boston Red Sox are the only franchise that he and his younger brother Steven both played for. Correct answer is JD Drew. Very nicely sussed out on the flop for both teams. So after the third quarter, my banana got burned has 475. 4 year absence has 405. That brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
All right, for the fourth quarter, we will return to my Continental Series.
Oh yeah. here
4
we go.
questions, all about athletes and sports from one particular continent. Jake, since you are the guest, I'm going to let you choose the continent. So your choices are Europe, Asia, Africa, or Australia/Oceania.
Ooh, okay. Let's stick with Europe. Let's go with that.
All right. So we will be in Europe today. Our categories for this fourth quarter are NBA, auto racing, national sports, and soccer. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. All right, here we go with question 1. Category is NBA, and the continent is Europe. The 2003 NBA All-Star Game was the first to have 3 different European-born All-Stars. One was a Western Conference sharpshooter in his second of 3 appearances. Another was an Eastern Conference big man in the first of his 2 appearances. The third was Dirk Nowitzki. Name either of the other 2.
Taco, we are going to check in.
4-year absence has checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out.
Western Conference sharpshooter wasn't the
Isn't that Peja? Peja,
yeah.
right? Where was Kobe born? I know he played in France or whatever. Didn't he play overseas?
Who? Kobe
Kobe.
Bryant?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
are
born
we
in Philly.
are we saying that he's
He's born in
European?
Philadelphia. No, he's born in Philadelphia.
Born and
He was
raised?
born. I think he went over for a minute.
Do you
I mean,
think
we only
Peja?
need
What do you
one of
think
them,
about
right?
the? What do you think about the?
Yeah, you only
Okay.
need one.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I mean, is Ben Wallace from Europe? No. Cool. Let's go with Stojakovic.
Okay.
All right. We're checking in with Peja Stojakovic for 100 points.
And 4-year absence. What did you come up with?
We're also checking in with Peja Stojakovic for 100 points. I have a sneaky suspicion that the other guy might be Zydrunas Ilgauskas, but we're going to check in with Peja Stojakovic.
Both teams are getting their 100 points. Peja Stojakovic is one. The other one is indeed Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Very nicely done. Peja's 1,763 pointers rank 29th all-time and second among European players behind Dirk. And Big Z ranks second all-time among Lithuanian-born players in games played, points, and rebounds, trailing Jonas Valanciunas in all categories.
Sad.
All right. Both teams get their 100, so the 70-point deficit remains the same. Let's move on to question 2. Category is auto racing. Continent is Europe. Name either of the 2 Italian tracks that host a Formula One Grand Prix in 2024. Both have been on the F1 schedule since 1981, and every Italian Grand Prix since 1949 has been held at one of these 2 circuits. For an additional hint, both circuits are commonly known for the cities in which they reside, both of them 5-letter names. Name either one.
Yeah, Taco, we'll go ahead and lock in.
All right. 4-year absences checked in. My banana got burned. Talk it out.
What are you thinking?
Okay, so I swear on Triviality they just had this a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
They had an F1 question and they went through a bunch of tracks. Primarily named after the city. 5 letters.
So
I mean, the
either
first one that
track.
came to mind when that came up was Milan.
Okay.
I
Is
don't
it
know
5
that for a
letters?
fact. That would be a
Spell
guess.
it for me.
Milan?
Spell it.
Milan? Isn't that Milan?
Count the letters.
Milan. 5
Don't
letters.
spell it again. Count it. Jeez, man.
Eric has a block when it comes to things in 5s or 7s. So I apologize for this question.
Oh,
Does it rhyme with baloney? I don't know. Bologna.
Um,
Cities. Rome is 4 letters, right? Count those. Um,
oh my gosh. Okay.
uh,
Um, hmm,
is it bad
um,
that when he first asked this question and he said name a city in Italy, the first city that popped in my or country, I don't even know, was Singapore. For some reason, I'm like, oh, that's not 5 letters. Let's move on.
so,
True, it's
okay.
not 5 letters.
It's not. So they quickly went away. Italy, how many letters is that? That's
Are we
5.
still talking about this?
That's 5. Name some cities
Okay.
in Italy. Go.
Well, I just gave you one, Milan. So I think the Formula One track that's near there, though, was in a different city. It's like a suburb or a city that's close to it.
Okay.
Um, so he doesn't say that these are like big cities, so it doesn't necessarily have to be like a big metropolitan area. Both
I feel like Milan's too easy.
I think the name of the town that's near Milan is called Monza. I thought that there was something about that.
Like it. How many letters? Spell it.
Uh, let's see.
Carry the
M
one.
is 1.
Okay.
O is 2.
Two
Now, here's
vowels
where it
count
gets tricky.
separately.
N is number 3. That's a tough one
Okay.
right there.
All right.
And then Z is
Z's
4.
the last letter, so that's definitely like extra
Right?
points.
Yes. Z is
Okay.
actually counts for 2.
But
So
said
it's
if you're in Canada.
Monza. Yeah, not Monza.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So let's go with that because I don't think Milan. I think Milan's too obvious, and if you said that's right next to it or whatever, then let's go with it.
Okay. We're gonna check with Monza for I don't know how many points because he blindly told you and didn't tell me. So
30.
All right. And for your absence, what did you have?
Yeah. So we went the easy route. I was kind of going and thinking of 5 letter towns. I was torn between Milan. I could think of Turin as one possibly. But I've also seen it spelled as Torino. But we went with the option of Milan for this one.
For how many points?
50, 50.
All right. So the correct answer is Singapore. Singapore.
Oh,
Son of a-
Singapore.
Never
Sure.
second guess my
Singapore.
5
guts.
letters definitely in
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
In Italy, they actually spell Singapore with only 5 letters. That was
Yes.
the trick.
I was
No,
going to say the poor is silent.
right.
Silent.
It's the opposite of silent. It's said, but it's not spelled. All right. The correct answer is, well, one of them is Monza. And the other correct answer is Imola. Monza and Imola are those 2 tracks. Monza hosts the Italian Grand Prix, and Imola, otherwise known as Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari, hosts the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Both tracks are unfortunately known for their danger, with Monza being the site of former F1 world champion Alberto Ascari's death in 1955, and Imola being the site of former F1 world champion Ayrton Senna's death in 1994. So.
Fun fact: I'm pretty sure I dated a girl named Imola, and also known for danger.
Fun fact, just because there has anything to do with F1 means that by default is a Josh Bombach reference, the third Josh Bombach reference in this episode.
Still
So
too much
hashtag-
Bombach.
Hashtag too much Bombach.
And there's a soccer question coming up. So
That, honestly, this balances it all out because
Yeah.
he's not a fan.
all right. Moving on to question number 3 in Europe. Category is national sports. The sport of Pesapallo, a baseball adjacent sport, is considered the national sport of what European country? Unsurprisingly, this country has taken every single gold medal at every single Pesapallo World Cup in men's, women's, and mixed competition. And for the listeners at home, Pesapallo is spelled P-E-S-A with an umlaut looking thing over the top of it, P-A-L-L-O.
Just a little doojab. A doojab is what we call them here in
A doojab,
Hamburg.
Yeah, some
A jibber
some
jabber.
flavor.
A hibbity boo.
A little sprinkling of dots at the top of your A makes it sound funny.
How many letters?
Let me see. More than 4,
Oh wait, we don't.
but
That's
less
not.
than
That doesn't carry
25.
over.
Don't help us.
Okay. All right. 5
Taco, we
letters.
can check in, please, for 100 points. I don't even know how many points. I'm just
100.
kidding.
100.
It is 100. My banana got burned has checked in. 4-year absence. Talk it out.
I mean, the
We're gonna name a
umlaut's what's
European
throwing
country.
me. I was gonna say we got that. We can name European countries. We can do that. Um, like I said, the umlaut is throwing me a little bit. I'm not sure because your thought was Portugal. I don't know if that is in the Portuguese language though.
I don't know. It ends in a no, so I was like, oh, that could be Portuguese.
I mean, like the Petapalo, make the two L's make a Y
Yeah, that's the
sound.
thing. He didn't say Pesapayo. That's the other. That's what's
Like my
throwing me
initial
off with
thought,
Portugal. So
and this is just throwing darts at a wall, seeing what sticks, uh, would be like maybe like Austria or maybe like like Belgium, maybe or something. I don't know, man. This is
in
well,
Austria, it sounds cool.
it does, and I know they have a lot of Germanic language, obviously, or they have their own. There's very seldom spoken, but there is an Austrian language, but German obviously takes the reign there.
Yeah, we can do that. I don't know much about their national sports, so yeah,
I mean, it's
why not?
definitely like just by just sounding it out, like Pesapalo, it sounds like baseball in a way.
Sure,
And I know Germanic is close to the English language.
you're convincing me more and more.
I just got
So
to think if it's the right if it's the right country or not. Yeah, screw it. Balls to the wall. We'll go. We'll lock in with Austria.
For how many points?
5-0.
50.
All right. And my banana got burned. What did you check in with?
So what happened like 100 years ago or something like that? Somebody from this country was in the U.S. and played baseball or something, and then took it back to Finland and tried to teach people how to play baseball, but it was a variation of it. So the pitcher stands by the batter and throws the ball up in the air, and then the batter hits it and then runs to first, which is where we would have third. But then like to tag them all, you don't have to tag them. You just have to like get within a zone or something like that. And the ball has like this weird, there's like no out of bounds. Like so when they play out in the middle of like wherever, they can like go over into the woods or into like a creek or something like that. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so I'm like 98% sure that this is Finland.
For how many points?
100, right? I don't know. How many points did we wager, Eric?
We already established that. No,
Okay,
we
for
wagered 100.
7,000 points.
Okay. Well, one team is getting their points, and yes, it is Finland. And if you've never watched any highlights of Pesapalo, I highly encourage you to go to YouTube and do it. As Matt described, it's wild. And
Mhm.
yeah, the pitcher throws the ball like, as high as they want, really, or can, and it has to land on home plate to count as a strike. And first base is where third base is, but then second base zigzags back over to where
Yes.
first base is. And none of the, like, all of the baselines between bases are different lengths. It's wild.
Yep. And there's
It's
like a zone too. It's not just like a baseline. There's like a zone. And then if you touch the ball in that zone, if they're in that zone, you're out. So you don't have to like touch the base or anything like that or tag
Right.
them. It's
Yeah.
very fun to watch. Check it out.
And if you hit their version of a home run where you get all the way around to home, as a bonus, you get a run and you get to go back to third and score again,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
which is kind of a fun wrinkle. But anyway,
It's cool.
the answer
Yeah, it's a fun
is
game.
Finland. All right, the final question of the game is in the category of soccer and the continent of Europe. Here we go. This legendary team is the only Dutch club to win more than one major European club championship, the European Cup or the Champions League. They cleaned up especially well in the 1970s, winning 3 straight European Cup championships between 1971 and 1973.
Taco, we can check in.
All right. My banana got burned has checked in. For your absence, you have all the time in the world to talk it out.
Yeah, this is going to be a very anticlimactic end of this game because, spoiler alert, we wagered 0 on this, and we're not going to win. and we don't have much to talk out. All right. So, Jake, I'm going to be funny for a second. They cleaned up well in the 70s, 3 straight championships. So I'm thinking Cincinnati Reds, Oakland A's, right? Or like the Broad Street Bullies, they were really good in the 70s, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's what I've got. That's what I'm bringing to the table. These teams are really good in the 70s.
Can I say something? Focus on the cleaned up.
Yeah.
Yep. So so it's actually what I said in our chat here, Scott.
Yeah, Jake actually has it. I'm just, talking.
Oh, Jake already knows
like
this?
I normally
Good.
do.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, it's the only Dutch soccer team I know. And that's not saying much. But yeah, the cleaning up bit does add a little bit of a nice scent to it, if you will. We'll go with Ajax. Or yeah, go ahead.
It's a notes of orange, since it's from Dutch.
That was our missing link.
There you go. Yes, yeah.
All right, so you're checking in with Ajax.
That we are for a fat 0 points.
Okay, and my banana got burned. What did you check in with?
Yeah, it's Ajax. Yeah, so
both teams getting it correct. One team getting points. It is Ajax. Yes, you caught the cleaned up clue as well as this legendary team, because Ajax or Ajax is also a mythological character. So there's 2 hints for the price of 1 in there.
How many points did we wager on that one, Eric?
100.
Doesn't matter.
100. Okay.
All right. The game has come to an end, and here are your final scores. 4-year absence putting together a very nice performance and have a respectable 405 points. But today's clipboard captains, who will be receiving the very coveted EJ Manuel Award with 805 points, is My Banana Got Burned. Jake, thank you so much for coming back on. Let's not have it be 3 years until your next appearance. Do you have anything you want to say on the way out?
No, I mean, great, very well written show, guys, and thanks for having me on again. And we'll see you in 2.5 years this time.
All right. Anything else from the Benchwarmers before we get out of here?
Make sure you check out Double Delight. BTP, the promo code there. They just bombard them with the promo code BTP. I don't even know if you can enter promo codes on their website, but give it a shot.
No, you have to actually walk in the bakery and just say, "Hey, BTP."
Yes. Yeah, just let them know BTP, and he'll be probably call security or the police. But yeah, no, definitely check them out.
I Googled Hungarian bakery and 3 things came up in the United States. So,
and 2 are in Ohio. So,
okay, good.
Because I go to one in Cleveland. Like, I'll drive to Cleveland.
You drive to Cleveland?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? How far is that away from you?
2.5 hours. Not bad.
Oh. Send me the name. I'll be in Cleveland at the beginning of August.
Visiting your brother?
Yes.
It's right by that. What's that big market? That's the big building with the market in it.
The West Side Market.
Right. Yes, it's down there. You park and you just take a left instead.
I apologize. I brought us down the rabbit hole here. So let's pull us up, Mr. Taco.
No, don't. So let's do one more thing. So it's been officially 2 weeks since I've seen any ticks in my home. So I've not lit any gasoline. However, no, seriously, no ticks. It's been fun. Every time I feel something crawling on me, it's nothing. It's just my mind.
Gross.
But yeah.
Mark's going to be listening to this episode going, wait a minute, is he not going to give us a tick update?
Right.
He saved it there. So thank goodness.
Hi,
right.
Mark.
Hi, Mark Stadium.
From all of us here at the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
Check those taints.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but I'm on this
Tinder.
Well, there's that. I'm on
Farmers
this,
only.
that too. I'm not a farmer.
Black people meet.
Christian Mingle, J-Date, just get them all.
Grinder.
Matt, you do well on Black people meet. You've got some knowledge, bro.
Too well.
You know Wu-Tang, right?
There has to be white people on that, right? That has to be, right? Yeah.
I'm 1,000% sure that Kevin Federline uses Black people meet.